All right, we're back. Holy shit, it's July. I made it. Finished the class. So pat myself on the back. It's pretty heavy doing it. It's the only thing I realized right away. You don't know how you'll feel after you are actually able to, after you're qualified, so to speak. How it's gonna make you feel. Well, from my instance, it seems a lot seriouser. And after meeting some of the people in my classes, I feel like it definitely needs treatment. So we're working through all that stuff. Like they say, heavy is the heart of a soul bearer. Well, I feel that right now, and I'm really glad that I have a moment to take the time, make sure that I feel right before I even attempt to help someone else. It's that whole, I'm trying out the whole trying out new outfits or hats, so to speak. You have to have your professional hat, you have to have your social hat, you have to have many different hats if you're gonna really help. And that's a lot. That's a lot of shit to think about. Like, can you change? Can you change who you are like that on a whim? Can you be exactly what somebody needs to be at that moment in time, not what you need? And are you still gonna be fine when you're done? They're all big ass questions. I'm so thankful that I did the classes. Even if it is only for myself, it made me learn so much more. And it showed me that the hugest difference in recovery right now is the forced versus and the not thinking about it at all. Like, you can't have common sense. Like, are we here to help people get better, or do we have the strict guideline where we're willing to let them be piece of shits just because they didn't follow every rule? Well, I don't want to be involved in the latter, of course. I would much rather be in the let's just, if we have to, one thing at a time. And I know that's not possible when you're through the court, which is a bitch. But I'm telling you from the other side of it, when you come at this afterwards, having done it yourself, use their tools or whatever, it's so different to come into it when you're in charge of your own sobriety. I don't know how to put it into words, but it definitely feels a lot different. You go do these meetings and it's more of a peer to peer. Yeah, on paperwork, you're there, they're meeting with you. But in reality, when you go there, sometimes you're helping them and you help in the most unexpected times. I don't know. So, like I said, I'm going through a lot mentally. Glad I got a time to take a minute, process everything. I mean, hell, just this last week, I got told that apparently I need to wear a helmet for 4 days to figure out why I'm having seizures. So, I got so many emotions going on. When I've tried to talk to other people, I realize more and more that you shouldn't try to burden the people you're closest to if you can. It works a lot better for me having, 3, 4 people that I don't have to live with or go home to that I can talk to about this. And honestly, you guys are one of them too. I include this in one of the one of my outlets to get my feelings out and hear what I'm thinking because a lot of times it's really helpful to sit back and replay myself. But anyways, back to what I was saying. Over the weekend I tried to open myself up just a little. I don't know what made me do that, one way, one reason or the other. But it did not leave me feeling satisfied at all. If anything else, it was eye opening. You know that people really have such a hard time with honesty and feelings and shit. Like it's sad. All I wanted to do was share how it made me feel, after my classes. But they're just, and it's not their fault. It's just how it is, and it could be my fault. People don't know what the hell to say to somebody who's been there, done that twice, fucked it up. Like, what do you say to somebody when they do try to tell you? It's got to be difficult. But once again, I feel like that's another reason I really need to find a spot in this field and I need to be in it because I'm a great list. I can listen. I can relate all of the above. And doing this class solidified it. I'm more than qualified to do whatever I want right now. But yet, I don't want to make that decision yet. Yeah, test the waters. I want to make sure I fit where I'm going to be the most helpful. Anyways, that's big. I guess I'm only telling you guys because that's how much shit I have on my mind right now. And I'm trying to just go through one at a time. I tried to have a list to go off this time because I knew I had the potential of going off course quite a lot. But one of the things I wrote down that I noticed about myself now that, with the whole talking thing, it actually made me snippy when I tried to have conversations with people about, what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling. Where am I at? My head, because I didn't get the responses that I guess I wanted or needed. It just wound up making me snappy. So more things to work on. There's always more patience to be had, whether it's with your kids, whether and well, most of it's I gotta be patient with myself. Take a step back, take a step back. We have accomplished some serious shit 3 years that I guarantee no one that knows me thought it was. I mean, they may say that they thought it was possible, but in that damn moment, they were losing hope faster, faster than I knew. Faster than I could prove them otherwise. But anyways, I have done a lot. I need to be proud of myself. I'm proud as hell of my babe. She's been right there alongside me. She has her own version of staying alcohol free that's working for her. I'll be damned if I want to interrupt that at all. She's doing great too. It was wonderful to finally get a chance to go out and spend some quality time where we can be ourselves, not that rush shit where all right, you got out of work, now we gotta eat, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we gotta go to bed. Bam, it's over. Fucking shitty. This one we got to actually enjoy hanging out. And I talked to some people I hadn't talked to in quite a while, being we had the 4th of July party, so I got to see a few people that I haven't seen in a while. And I'll be damned if it's not as easy as I think it is to be social. You just let your guard down. I, a lot of that stuff was helpful. And once again, you hear stories about yourself that are always interesting. So apparently, before I was 4 years old, we had some kind of either, I'm guessing a three-wheeler, small three-wheeler. Apparently, they couldn't keep me off the damn thing. And when I get on it, it wasn't the fact that I was riding it, it was the fact that I wouldn't ride it unless it was wide open. So I was Superman and all over. Well, now I'm just sitting here trying to picture this little 3, 4 year old flying across this field out in Borculo. Because back then we lived on like 72nd, in the middle of nowhere, Johnson, something like that, way out in the boonies. But that shit's just funny when you hear about that. I never seen that in any of the videos. I only ever saw me and Lady and me me fucking with one of my cousins. My aunt's got a lot of those old videos that sometimes she likes to blow the dust off of. But anyways, like I said, if you sometimes opening up and talking to people you haven't, it can be so worthwhile. Now you came away with a story that actually, it helps you realize that you've been a crazy son of a bitch your whole life. Like, and you made it. We made it here. Now, I would like to show everybody that you can still be fun as hell and sober. You don't have to drink. To be honest with you, I have more fun now watching. You can just sit back, watch everything unfold. You learn a lot of truths. People don't. People are pretty damn honest once they get drunk. And I've always been a big fan of getting honesty and getting shit off your chest if you need to, because it's so worth it at the end of the day. All right, well, we're at 10 minutes now, and I don't know if I've covered very much of this shit other than, all right, I think I might have. Well, that's the main thing. When I come back next time, I ought to have some stories to tell you about this crazy ass helmet. I can't even begin to explain because they haven't explained it to me yet. But apparently, it's 4 days of me wearing a helmet, which they'll get data to download and see if I'm having electrical seizures or if I'm, it'll more narrow it down because my MRI or my CAT scan didn't show any epileptic stuff. Well, my last doctor thought that was good enough and just left it there. So now, new doctor, actually have a neurologist. So there's hopes that that will actually work its way, make it more comfortable. It's one thing to have. It's only scary when they start coming on, even when you're on the meds. And I do a lot of driving, so you have to be afraid of for other people. People think that I just don't like to do things super early. Well, now I kind of have an excuse. I like to make sure my head's completely screwed on before I just go drive and leave. So typically, I have some coffee, take my meds, make sure that I'm not going to be sick as shit that day, all the responsible things and see what happens. But I try to do that all the time. But once again, we're getting off subject again. I think that'll do it for this time anyway. I feel a little bit better. I hope you guys got something out of it. Feel free to ask questions. Like always, I just here to help with my experience. Have a good night.